Rolling up and down the fingers. And into the palm. And the pads of the pinky. And the thumb. Wow. Just missed. And it down to the wrist. And across the knuckles. And leave the ball in the palms, interlace the fingers and squeeze. And release. And squeeze. And release. And squeeze one more time. And release. And let's bounce the ball, unless you're in an apartment. In that case, throw it up in the air. Three, two, one. Leave the ball on the ground. Assess how the feet feel. And step on the ball right in the middle of the foot, pressing down 3 times. Bring it up to the knuckles, press down on each. Roll across the knuckles. Bring the ball to the middle of the foot and wiggle the toes. To the crease between the knuckles and the toes and press the toes into the ball. Raise and separate. Press again. Wiggle again. And scribble. Three, two, one, release, reassess. And go to the other foot and repeat. 3 times in the middle. Pressing on the knuckles. Roll across the knuckles. Wiggle the toes. Press the toes into the ball. Raise and separate. Press again. Wiggle again. And scribble. 3, 2, 1. Release. Get the ball out of the way. Reassess. And shake the tree. And center. Deep breath, twist at the waist, swing the arms. And center. Let's do the energy grounding exercise. We're going to move our hands up and down the front of the spine as we shift the weight from one channel to the other, left to right, left leg, right leg. Coming up on our toes as we take the weight off, back on the heels as we press down. Hands expanding. And let's go straight into some forward steps. And then elbow towards the opposite knee. And then slap the opposite heel in front. And then behind. And then a forward cross step with a twist and a punch. And then we'll just walk or march or jog. Today we're going to do some standing leg and core exercises. No squats if you want to do those. You can keep doing what you're doing, of course. And whatever you do, be safe. We've got yin yoga in the after class. I'm going to hop in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2. Ten. 20. And 30. 2 deep breaths. Interlace the fingers. Raise the hands up overhead. Come up on your toes if you can. Back down, bend back if you can. Come back to center, drop one hand to the side and bend in that direction. And then go the other way. Back to center, interlace the hands again, bring them down to the chest and push out. Come on down, interlace the hands behind the back and raise them up. A little higher. And come on down and shrug. And roll the shoulders back. And forward. Extend the arms and rotate. Go the other way. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Bring one arm across the body, press down and press at or above the elbow. Then the other arm. And the first arm behind the back, pressing down and in. And then the other. Form an L, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And release. And squeeze again. And release. And last time, squeeze. And release. Grab both elbows above the head and rock side to side. Come on down and rotate the head. Go the other way. Nod. And go ear to shoulder. Bring your hand over your head, cup your ear, tug your head towards that shoulder and look up. Looking out of the corner of your eyes towards the ceiling. And then drop your chin and look down the other way. Come on to center, same thing the other direction, looking up first and out of the corner of your eyes towards the ceiling. And then dropping the chin and looking down at the floor. And come on up and do a side lunge. Whoa. And go the other way. And come on up and grab a GymStick. Going to start with some dynamic swimmers over the head in one direction. And then the other. And then bring the stick overhead and go side to side. And then bring it down to the waist and twist at the waist. You're going to hinge at the waist, drop the stick to the top of the knees or above the knees, bring the hands around front in between the legs, and pull up. Spine is neutral, head is up. And then bring the stick around front. Hold on with two hands at or near the top. Walk back. Hinge at the waist, stretch the shoulders and upper body. Come on up, bring the stick across the body with one hand. The other hand comes underneath the armpit, grabs the shoulder, hinge at the waist, and tug its shoulder. And we're going to do the same thing the other way. Come on up, bring the stick to the side of the foot. Push out with the top hand, pull in with the bottom as you hinge at the waist. And same thing the other way. Come on up, bring the stick out in front of one foot. Toes of that foot are about 6 inches away. Drop the stick to the collarbone. Slide your hands down. Lift the sole of the foot. And wiggle it back and forth if you can. Same thing on the other with the other leg. And come on up, press the sole of the first foot against the stick. And then press the sole of the second sole against the stick. And come on up, bring one leg forward, bend at the knee, back leg, you're on the ball of your foot, balls of your foot, and come on down to stretch the hip flexor. Reverse the position of the legs. And come on up, grab one leg by the shin, ankle, or toes, stretch the quads. And then the other. And go on down, bring the first leg up in front. Push the knee towards the back, hinge slightly at the waist. And then come on up. Same thing on the other side. And come up. Going to bring a stick in front. Hips, the feet are about hip width apart. Going to roll back onto the fifth metatarsal and then towards the first. Keep alternating back and forth as you dig your toes into the ground, creating an arch and then a flat foot. And then stay on that fifth metatarsal with the big arch, toes digging into the ground, and hold. Another 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Put the stick away, unless you want it. I mean, you might want to use it. We're going to be doing things like kicks. If you need to, hold on to the stick or be next to a wall or maybe a counter or a chair. Any support you need, take advantage of it, please. I'm going to start with some kicks. 10 with one leg. Only go as high as feels safe for you. And then the other leg. And then we're going to kick back, keeping the knees straight and fixed. And then the other. And then we're going to go laterally with one leg. And then the other. And then we're going to come across, tap, and go back. And then the other. And then some butt kicks. Same leg. And then the other. Ten on each. And then hip rotations. Again, only go as high as feels right for you. And then we're going to go elbow to the same knee. Don't have to touch, but we'll alternate. And you can continue to do that if you find this one too difficult, crossing your hands and bringing your knee to the opposite elbow. And then let's just take 5 kicks with each leg. See if you see any difference when we started. 3, 4, 5, and then the other. And 5. All right. Take a couple of breaths before we do our breath. So we're doing a enhancement of what we were doing last week, which is basic diaphragmatic breathing, which is through the nose, into the belly. Watch that belly expand, air coming into the rib cage, up all the way to the collar, and then exhaling through the nose if possible, but it can be through the mouth. And watching the stomach muscles contract as the diaphragm goes back up. So we're going to do 10 of these, but we're going to do it with an ocean sound. So it comes right out of the top of the throat, and it sounds like harder to do when you're inhaling than exhaling, but the more you do it, easier it gets. Let's do 10. And we'll rub the hands together, cultivating chi, forming a chi ball, and letting it dance a circle. And center. 2 breaths. 2 more diaphragmic breaths. And let's open our hearts. Pause on this inhale. Exhale, send it out. And center. 2 breaths. And bring down heavenly chi. And go down, scoop it up. And namaste.
Thank you, Tom.
Take care, Mira. Thank you.
You too.
Thanks, Tom.
Art, take care. Good to see you. Hey, Nina,
Thank you.
good morning.
Sir. Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome. Bye-bye, Nina. I'm going to do some 5 Tibetans for anybody who is hanging around. You know, I always have these words of wisdom from the folks at the Insight Timer, and today it is, keep your face always towards the sunshine and shadows will fall behind you, said Walt Whitman. I don't remember that from Walt Whitman. All right. Timer, start. I gotta put the original sound for musicians on. And I'll meet you on the floor in 15 seconds. In the cat position, we shall start. Cat. Cobra. cat. Sit on heels. Jaws pose. Sit on heels. Dragon. Dragon. Red needle. Red needle. Swan. Swan. Knees to chest. Corpse. Knees to chest. And corpse. And something else.